Hi everyone, I wanted to create this video to help the community when it comes to observability in ACRE. ACRE is a native service of Azure and is tied to Azure Monitor. But some of our clients are using different solutions like Datadog, Dynatrace, Grafana, etc. Unfortunately, some of our clients have told us that they cannot see the Azure Cache for Redis metrics when utilizing these other solutions, the same way they can see Azure Cache for Redis basic, standard, and premium tiers. This is happening because the vendors haven't caught up with the Redis Enterprise tiers and haven't built any default or out-of-the-box integrations for it. But you can still create this integration. You can still see the metrics. In this video, I will show you how to integrate ACRE with Dynatrace. So let's get started. Now we will assume that you have access to Dynatrace and an ACRE cluster already provisioned. Step 1. The first step is to install ActiveGate. I install it in a VM inside my Azure subscription. I created an Ubuntu machine and I use wget to download the installer. You can also download to your local machine and copy the file over. After you install ActiveGate, you can verify the installation by going to Manage, Deployment Status, and click ActiveGate. And you will see the installation here. Once you see ActiveGate running, you can proceed to step number 2. Step number 2. Create Event Hub's namespace and Event Hub instance. For this step, you just log into your Azure subscription, look for Event Hub, click Create, and go through the motion of creating your Event Hub. Once it's created, you will create an Event Hub instance by going into your Event Hub's namespace, clicking Event Hubs, and click Event Hub, the plus button to create. Step number 3. We're going to configure the ACRE diagnostic settings to send logs to Event Hubs. We do this by going to your ACRE cluster, select Diagnostic Setting Metrics, click Add Diagnostic Settings, and I have already created one, so I will click Edit, click All Metrics, click Stream to an Event Hub, and here you select the Event Hub namespace and the instance that you already created on Step 2. Step 4. Create the Azure Log Forwarder. For this step, we're gonna go to the Dynatrace webpage. Right at the top, we're gonna go where it says Azure, and we need to create an authorization rule for Event Hubs. So run this command, and this is gonna create a SAS token. Once you run this with your settings, run the second command, and it's gonna provide you with the connection string that you will use afterwards. You can also get your connection string once you create policy. You can click into your policy and your connection string will show here. Let's go back. Now let's set up our environment variables. Deployment name is the name that is gonna have the Azure deployment, but it needs to be unique because there is gonna be an Azure function created and the script utilizes this name, and the Azure function name needs to be globally unique. So pick up a name that hopefully has not been used. Target URL. This is gonna be your Dynatrace environment, and you can see that going to your Dynatrace URL. Target API token, you can see it's part of the requirements. So you can click Dynatrace requirements for more details. Select the resource group where you have your Azure resources, the Event Hub connection string that we created in the previous step. And now run with all this information. You run this script and wait for the resources to be created. Once everything have deployed, we go back to Dynatrace. We're gonna check that all the logs are coming. To do this, we go to Observe and Explore, click Logs. And if everything is working fine, you will see a list of logs coming in. Now, if you click on one of them, initially, you will see everything is loaded into the content as a JSON string. To be able to create metrics, we will need to create a processing rule. Step number 5, create processing rule. So to create a processing rule, you can click here, create processing rule. And I will show you the one that I already created for you. So click delete here. Just open this one up. You give it a name. You call it log Redis Enterprise all. Matcher. I want all the logs that contains Redis Enterprise. The processor definition. What we're doing here, we are parsing the content field as a JSON, and then we're adding or extracting all the metrics or all the columns that I'm interested in, and give it a name. If you go down the bottom, you can test the rule, and you will see that it will create those new fields for you. Click Save Changes, and you have created a processing rule. Step number 6, create custom metric. Now that we have the processing rule, you have to wait some minutes, and the new logs are gonna start coming in. You can go to Settings, Log Monitoring, and click Metrics Extraction. Click Add Log Metric to create new custom metric. I will show you the ones that I already created. So here I have one, it's called log.redisenterprise.cache read, and I'm adding max. The matcher is again a filter of all the metrics or the metric name inside the log. So I created a field called cache read. So I'm gonna grab, or I'm gonna select all the rows or all the logs that have cache read. Now here I select attribute value, and I want the maximum. You can select any other attribute that you want, but in my case I select the maximum, and just click save. And you will do this for any metric that you wanna use for your dashboard. Step 7, let's create the dashboard. But before that, we're gonna stop in our metrics. We wanna create or give it a unit. So click inside the Observe and Explore. Let's click Metrics. Filter by. So I will filter by Redis Enterprise. You'll see that all the custom metrics we created are here. So I'll click one. And I already have byte per second, but by default, you will not see this here. You click Edit Metadata, and here where it says unit, you type byte per second, click Save. And you will do this for all the metrics that the unit is byte per second. Not all of them are like that. Next, we'll go to dashboards, create new dashboard, give it a name. I already have one here, so I will click Azure, edit. You can grab a graph or a pie or whatever you want, drag and drop it. And once you have it, you give it a title. Click Configure Title in Data Explorer. And I selected the reads throughput. Click Advanced Mode and type the log.Redis Enterprise cache read max. So this is the metric we created, the custom metric. The cache read, if you read the documentation in the Azure side, it will say cache reads is tied to the NIC, to the network interface. This is the throughput of the reads. Run the query. Once you run the query, you will be able to save changes to dashboard. In my case, I don't have any changes because it's already created. Once you click Save Changes to Dashboard, it will go back to your dashboard and you will start seeing data coming through. Now you will do the same, you will add the same graph for each metric that you want, or you can have different or multiple metrics in one graph. It depends on what you want to see. The difference with
Azure Cache for Redis
is that you can select
Azure Cache for Redis,
and the instances will come here, will show by itself. There's a native integration. You don't have to do all that setup. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for your time. Till next one.